And we are back at it, ladies and gentlemen. We have some training footage from April 23rd and April 24th rolling in the background. And so today is going to be a little bit different, as I'm not going to talk about how the training actually went, because it goes well. It makes me tired. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's not. I don't have any issues. So there's not a whole lot to say besides this one looks good and that one looks good. Doesn't make it for very informative or really just pleasing to listen to. So based on the title, hopefully you've been able to glean that I'm going to talk about why I paused my bench. If you haven't, it's all good. It's all gravy. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it. So I got myself some Hydro 2000, aka some water. Quite possibly the greatest supplement on this planet. So let's get into it, shall we? So I'm pausing my bench for a number of reasons, and I kind of want to address how this actually came about. So I used to do touch and go reps consistently, like all of the time. And then when the peak cycle for training would come along, I would switch back to touch. I'd switch back to pause, because during a competition, pause is what you have to do. If you touch and go, you get red lights, and then you don't get a bench number on your total, and you could potentially bomb out of the meet. So to avoid that, you have to do pause work. You have to make sure that the bar and the weight is controlled. So I'd get into a training block, and I'd spend the first 2 weeks out of potentially 5 learning a new motor pattern, which is not very advantageous to really trying to hone in that one movement, so when it comes time for the competition to happen, I'm ready to go. So Nicholas and I had a discussion, and we came to the conclusion that yes, I should be pausing my reps, because long term it's definitely better. Despite the fact that I'm really good at touch and go, I can also be really good at pause. And it took me a little while to start working on pauses, because they're tiring. I'm not used to it. Arguably it is harder, but I've now been able to do pause work just about all of my reps and all of my sets for my workouts. Sometimes I heave the last one. It's more of a, I'm really tired. I'm kind of doing a mixed touch and go, mixed pause. So that is slowly being cleaned up, and I'm probably not going to compete till sometime in November, maybe late October. So by that time, I'm going to be doing pause work for over 6 months. I'm going to be more than good. So moving to pauses have provided me with a couple options in terms of what I'm able to do with myself, because now I'm really able to work on more stability, because I'm really training for one rep each time, and then so I do my rep and then I reset, do my rep and then I reset, because sometimes when I leg drive on the bench, I get out of position. Now resetting each rep allows me to stay tighter, allows me to control the bar better, and I really get the most out of that movement. I'm finding that I have better control. I am able to move a heavier weight. 240 is heavy for me, and I'm able to move it with confidence, and I am sure that I can do it. I'm sure that I'm able to have a nice pause where I'm not sinking the bar into my chest, and based on the footage, I'm really pleased with how it's going. Additionally, I'm now competition specific. So when you train in powerlifting, or any sport for that matter, you train for the event, right? So if I'm not hitting depth on squats, then yeah, I'm kind of squatting, but I'm not really going to get to where I want to be. So I should train the movement. And so now I am becoming more focused on training in terms of I'm getting better at the movement. So come time competition rolls around, it's even more of a second nature for me, because when you're doing a max weight and you're used to doing these semi-slow touch and goes where you kind of pause it but you kind of don't, and then you go do 100% or 105%, the pause you think is very short, because when it's pressed on your chest and your head feels like it's about to explode, you know, you think it's 3 seconds or 2 seconds, but you know, in actuality, it's half a second. But that's a little bit about what I wanted to talk to you today. Hopefully it's a little informative. And in the future, Nicholas and I are going to do some tips and tricks on the bench. We've kind of discussed it, and when he's here in 6 days, we'll get on it. But I do thank you all for watching today. I appreciate you taking the time. If you'd like to comment, subscribe, Nicholas and I would definitely appreciate it. I'm going to let these last block pulls roll. My tender hands are super sore. Anyway, thanks guys. Take care.